Good morning. Show you a little project we're going to start, and I say little project kind of being sarcastic because this is going to turn into be a big project. Today we got the brush cutter out here. We're going to start with trying to get this pond dam cleaned up here. So here we're on the overflow side of the lake, and give you a little backstory. This is a fellow I work with. This is his family's property. They got a farm out here. It's been in their family for generations at this point. So the property hadn't been maintained in years, and you know how it goes. Family, you know, certain people manage properties and all, and things change, people pass on, and we got to get this property back right. The lake hasn't been taken care of in a while, and about 2 or 3 years ago a bunch of beavers got out here and dammed this lake up. The lake is currently sitting about, I think it's probably around 2 to 3 feet higher than where it's supposed to be at. And it's full of lily pads right now. It's a gorgeous lake, gorgeous piece of property. It just needs a little fixing. That's a pretty good little bass swimming up checking us out. So this is going to turn into a multi-step process because we got some issues with the pond dam that we got to fix. We got some issues with the lake. We got some issues with the spillway. When the beavers dam this pond up, the beavers, either beavers or the lily pads, clogged up the overflow pipes. And I think it's a combination of both. They had a big beaver hut out there. Another guy we work with who does trapping for a living come out here, and he spent 2 or 3 months trapping beavers out here and trapped about 16 adult-sized beavers. So they had quite a presence out here. Ever since then, the pipes have been clogged. The lake has been running through the emergency spillway constantly now for 2 to 3 years. So it has eroded it down quite a bit. The spillway has also built up a lot of vegetation. As those lily pads break loose from the pack and flow down here, they get hung up on the spillway, they root up, they clog it up, the spillway builds up, so the lake keeps getting higher, which keeps eroding the dam out. So we're going to get in here with a brush cutter, and a lot of this, I believe in the past at some point somebody was keeping this bush hog. They stopped bush hogging it, and we've got a lot of little trees growing up around some bigger trees. Not going to be able to brush cut everything, but we're going to come in and cut down as much as we can with this brush cutter and open it up. I'll show you some issues up here on this dam. I was able to walk down in here the other day when we came out here. I actually came out here originally to look at doing some clearing, and I found this in the dam. We have a hole here. We have a hole here holding water at the level of the lake. Water is actually not flowing through this hole. It's just sitting at the level of the lake over there. We don't know 100% why this hole is here yet, but I believe this is where they put a pipe in. Now I'm about to walk you down there and show you the pipes. So I come back up here earlier today to check the dam out again to make sure it was going to be worth getting in here and brush cutting. Which I think we're going to be able to open it up a good bit. That trees like that pine tree right there, we're not going to touch it. We're not going to touch that pine tree there. That smaller one we'll cut down. We'll cut down all of this, mulch that up, chew it up. Trying to open this up to where we can really get in here and take some measurements and look at what's going on with this dam. My biggest concern right now is this hole that I found today. So when I walk down through here, we've got a hole in the back side of the dam. It's about 3 foot down from the top of the dam, and a good bit of water is flowing through here. Don't know how long this has been running. Now, the lake is 2 or 3 feet higher than what it's supposed to be. So I believe this is one of the trenches where they have a pipe in it. And I'll show you why I believe that, because just downhill from where this water's running are where the pipes are coming out at. what I've told him is we're going to get this cut down, open up as much as we can to where we can get in here and work and try to start fixing some issues on this dam. And regardless of what we do, we got to get, before these trees get any bigger, we got to get all this stuff cut out of this dam. The bigger they get, the more damage they're going to create. So let's walk on down the hill here and I'll show you where I found the pipes. Make my way. This stuff is pretty thick. It's going to be fun to get back in here and cut. It is going to be some very slow cutting. Here's where the pipes are at. So there's what I believe to be the original pipe. Old metal pipe. We don't really do that anymore because they just rot away. Right, almost perfectly in line with this pipe is where that water is leaching out of the dam. So I believe that is an issue caused by this pipe probably rotting out of the dam. The water's coming out of that pipe. So we do have water running through that pipe. That pipe is water, I believe, running down through the hill. The dam's kind of eroded out back behind there. We appear to have some water running out of that pipe and a little water running out of that pipe, but none of them are flowing. I cannot see any of these pipes in the lake. So the steps in this process, I believe, are going to be, we're going to clean this dam up, get as much of these trees cut down, try to open it up to where we can get in here and work. A lot of that stuff will go pretty quick. Once I can get access and get in here, that brush cutter will make fast work out of all this little piddly stuff. Get a lot of this out of here, stop it growing, get it open back up to where get some actual bush hogging done and maintenance. The dam it's really not all that steep. It's a little steep, but it's got good slope to it. The dam itself appears to be solid. There's plenty of dirt back here. We just got to get the water level maintained. Most of the issues that are being caused right now is the fact that this dam is not being regulated correctly. The pipes have been clogged, and instead of getting them unclogged right when they clog, it's just been neglected for a few years. So that's what we're working with. It's going to be a fun project. It's going to take some figuring to see exactly what all we're going to have to do. But there's a decent amount of water flowing out of that hole right now. That's about one of the last things you want to see with a pond dam. And the dam itself is holding up really well for that much water flowing out of here. So as you can tell, we walk basically straight up the hill, and there are no pipes visible. Bunch of lilies growing down here, bunch of debris. I don't know if beavers clog these pipes or if the lily pads clog the pipes. I doubt they have any trash structures on top of the pipes. So pipes open, water level gets up to it, these lilies start flowing, they'll flow down into the pipe and they will just clog it up in a heartbeat. So, and I also don't know what kind of pipes these are. I don't know if they're set up as siphon pipes. I don't know if they're stand pipes. Can't see anything. Where those little trees are growing, I believe is the original water level. And based on the way they look, I mean, the water level could be 4 or 5 foot higher than where it's supposed to be. Just don't know. So we're going to get this cut open. I'm going to talk with the homeowner about getting a siphon system in here, start siphoning this water level down, get it dropped. I'm going to take a ground probe and see if I can't probe in that, because that is right about in line where the pipes are at. They're right down below that dam. So let's get started, show you some cutting, take a couple videos, start showing you some progress. Let's see if we can't get something going today. this stuff looks incredibly thick, which it is very thick, but the thicker something is, usually the easier it is to cut, because the thicker it is, it's harder for bigger stuff to grow up in it. So everything that's growing winds up being small. The cutter will handle it. This thing will cut up to 8 inches, so this little 2-3 inch stuff is, I mean, no issue whatsoever. It'll just mulch right through it, and then of course the smaller it is, the better it mulches up and disappears. So this is going to turn out looking right nice. There's only so much you can sit in that machine at one time. I had to take a break, get out, walk around. I want to show y'all some of the progress because this is looking awesome. So, cut into that vegetation at the front of the spillway, knock some water open, start lowering the level of this lake down. We got some good flow going down through there. I'm not going to open it up very much. Not at one time at least. I got it opened up. I dropped it maybe 2 inches down to get some water flowing. I'll leave it at that. Once it slows down and stops flowing again, I'll open it up, back up some more. I don't want to send too much water downstream at one time. But we have got to get the level of this lake down, so we're working towards that. And this cutting has turned out way better than what I thought it was. It's opening up nicely. I was able to take down a good bit through there. I thought there was going to be more bigger trees I was going to have to leave. I'll probably go back and eventually take that one down too. I'm pretty sure I can cut that and mulch it up. You know, a tree that size that's what's going to be left of it. I might even be able to chew that up a little bit more, but that, you know, I can always come back when I clean stuff up, grapple that up, and, you know, throw it off down in the woods, or if they want to make a burn pile, we can. I've got to come back up here and clean up this edge right here on the tail of the dam. There's that, there's our hole. Again, now you can see where, and it's hard to see because it's shady, but here's our hole in line with the, well, that hole lines up with that hole right there. They're kind of angled off, but they're right here, down here in the shady section where the pipes come out. So now we can walk straight down here without fighting it. Come down here, and here's our hole where the pipes come out. There's that big logging cable I hit earlier. Like I said, thank God that one's rusted up. So instead of being real strong and wrapping up inside the cutter, my cutter just chewed that thing up and spit it right out. Broke it up. So, and thankfully it went away from me and not towards me. I'm really interested to get the water level of this lake down and try to find where some of these pipes are at and see if we can't get that fixed and back flowing. It's going to be a mess. But anyways, so nice slope of the dam. Once we get, we're probably going to have to take some of these trees down, dig these stumps out of here, pack a little dirt back on the dam, fill in the stump holes, and get it opened up. I'm working on the main portion of the dam right now. I will probably go back. It's going to depend on the owner. These bigger trees down here are at the base of the dam. They do not need to come out. Might need to cut a little bit more in there, but this is the main section of the dam. You can see the slope and stuff. So the line I've kind of drawn with a mower is really as much as we need to get out. This stuff down in here is not going to hurt the dam. The interesting thing here is the hole that was on the side of the dam flowing, I hit right here is where it was wet, where water was coming out. And I'm not seeing any more water flowing. Here's our hole. And I mean, maybe there's a little bit coming out of there, but it is not flowing like it was. I mean, there's still some water in the hole, but as you can see, there's some vegetation in there. I mean, maybe there's enough. I believe what's happened is now that I've opened up that spillway, we've lowered the level. I mean, I looked at the grass. The water line on the grass is probably a ½ inch down since I've opened it up. I mean, it's not down very far. Look at that. There's another hole in the dam. This is where they have just been putting, this is where they buried pipes, or where pipes are buried, and I think the pipes have rotted out. Maybe that metal pipe has rotted, and there's just issues down inside the dam. I mean, there, I hope that original metal pipe is not buried all the way at the base of the dam. That's what I hope. If it is, to truly fix this dam and get that water to stop flowing, we're gonna have to dig it out. I hope that's not the case, because if that is the case, we're gonna have to empty this entire lake. But I don't know. But water's not flowing through that hole anymore, which is good. There's a chance, instead of digging all this up, we will line pump that metal pipe with some hydraulic cement, build some kind of a cap to put on it down there, and plug the inside of the dam, and hopefully if we can stop water from flowing through it, it'll eventually pack down. We can dig these spots out a little bit off of the top, pack some dirt back in the holes, and let it ride. So, but that's our progress so far. We're making it. We're halfway, I guess, I would say. Not counting the front side of the dam, because I really haven't done much with this yet. Still trying to decide what to do. I could chop a lot of these trees off, but once I chop them off, they're going to fall into the lake. I don't want that, so I might just leave these for right now, and we're going to have a mini X at least out here at some point, and we can pull them down when we get it out here and keep them from falling off in the lake. So, but that's our progress. Definitely got some more cutting to do, so we'll get back after it. Well, we're gonna call it quits for the day, but I'm gonna take you around. So, in all that mess, there did exist a lake dam. There is good news at all. We got some good water flow right now, drawing the level of this lake down slowly but surely. I just come back up here, opened up the spillway a little bit more with a cutter, just hit it, knocked some of that mud and dirt. Don't know for sure because I wasn't around during the time, but I believe that this spillway was dammed up by beavers. Most folks know beavers, you know, chew sticks, stack sticks up to dam stuff up. But beavers are also notorious for using mud and dirt to pack in those sticks. And I think, just my opinion, I believe the beavers use their tails and pushed a bunch of mud up here, because this is a mud dam that's a good 8 to 10 inches higher than the rest of this spillway area. And I believe they backed this spillway up, and the property owners were down here a little while ago, and they told me that they remember when they were younger coming out here, this was, you know, some of their family property. When they were younger, they remember where those trees are at, there used to be about another 12 foot of bank before they hit lake. We will find out when we finally get this lake drawn back down to where it needs to be, and we start seeing some pipes again. We're going to find out where the true water level is, but I think they're having issues with this dam because this lake is at least 2 or 3, if not 4 or 5 feet higher than where it is actually supposed to be. So, got the water rushing out. We'll walk down here. I'll show you some of the outcomes of the cutting. Not done yet. I'll be back out here again in the morning to finish the cutting and dress stuff up, make it look a little nicer. There's some stuff out there that I can mulch up a lot better, so we'll be working on doing that tomorrow. Get it good and cleaned up. It's a really pretty nice built dam. They got a good dam tail here coming around to protect the spillway water from eroding out the backside of the dam. It's good and solid. The dam's plenty high. You can see, sorry about the shadows, I'll get out of the sun here, make it a little nicer. But that brush cutter, some of this stuff in here, I wound up taking down some pretty good sized trees. It opened it up real nice right in here where it was super thick, and there's only like 1 or 2 inch, maybe 3 inch stobs and privet little trees growing up. Mulches that up real good, makes it disappear. The larger stuff, it doesn't cut up quite so well, but no more time that we got invested in it. I think I did right around 4.5 to 5 hours of cutting in here. You know, mulcher would have made it look a lot nicer, but it'd have cost them more money. So probably at the end of all this, what I'm gonna do is bring my grapple out here, and the bigger stuff that's left, I'll kind of grapple that up, clean this up, we'll start a burn pile somewhere, because we're going to be taking all of these trees back out. Can't cut that down. Don't want any stumps in the dam, because we're setting it up to where they can start bush hogging this, and don't want to leave any stumps or anything. We're going to pull all those out of the dam. We don't want them to rot. Dig the stumps out. We'll haul some good clay in here, pack the stump holes back down, mat it all in, smooth out the back side of this dam, get it good and cleaned up. They'll be able to start keeping it mowed. We got some pretty hefty sweet gums. That one and that one down there, it's like 3 and 4 sweet gums growing out of one stump. Not sure what this is back here. It's a pretty interesting little area. They've got I don't know if this is where they dug out dirt for the dam, which it very well could be, but kind of just a random little water hole out here. Doesn't look natural. So it's starting to cave back in, but that is well off of where the dam at the lake is at. Eventually that might need to be addressed. But like I said, I still got quite a bit of work to do. Got to finish up some cutting. I'm not sure how deep in here we're going to go. These trees honestly don't really matter. They can be taken out, they can be left. They're not actually growing into the face of the dam. They're at the back side of the dam, so those will be okay to leave if they choose to do so. Walk around with them tomorrow and figure out how far they want to take this. Right now we're doing this project in phases. I've got to finish cutting what I can out of that, finish mulching this up. This is the area I was working on when I decided to call it a day. There's only so many hours you can sit in there and run that thing. People don't think it's hard work, but physically it's not hard work, but it'll wear your mind out concentrating and thinking. The older you get, the harder it is to do for long periods of time. So I got to come back up here tomorrow on the front side, trim in and out of these trees, clean some of that up, get some of this mess out of the way. Got a few more I can take down in there, and then we will figure out where we're going to go from there. Hopefully we can get this lake level down some tomorrow, let it drain out overnight. I will open up that spillway some more in the morning. Hopefully it'll drain out down to where there will be no water flow in the morning time, or there's some inflow, so I'm sure there is a creek that flows in at the top side, so I'm sure there'll still be some water flow, but I'll be able to open it up some more tomorrow, and we will keep working on this slow drawdown on the lake, get us some pipes exposed, and figure out what the next phase of this pond rejuvenation project is going to be. I appreciate y'all watching. There'll be many more videos to come, so like, subscribe, give me some comments, tell me how it looks, tell me what you think. We'll see y'all on the next one.